This is the Modern PUR Pack for BeamNG. It completely revolutionizes the modern ETK vehicles, and there's an amazing new body style for the K-Series. Now this really is the highlight of the PUR Pack mod. This is the ETK K-Series Speedster, and can you see it has no front windscreen and no roof. In real life, this is based on the Mercedes-Benz SLR Sterling Moss. That was a 2009 variant of the SLR McLaren, and just 75 were made. And it was named after a famous British racing driver. And yeah, no roof and no windscreen. To drive this thing, you definitely need a crash helmet. This mod also adds a brand new engine. It's the 4.4-litre V8 PUR engine, producing 600 horsepower in this base model. And I love that it has a little signature from Matt S. I think I recognize that name from my own Discord server. But yeah, really cool details to this mod, and PUR is meant to be a version of Rough, like a lore-friendly version of Rough. They previously made the Goldfish, and this mod is by a guy called Fiesta, who did make the Goldfish mod for the I-Series. Now there are 20 configs in this pack, including non-speedster variants of the K-Series, and some really cool configs for the 800 series. But we're going to check that out a little bit later. Let's take this for a spin. So the driving experience of this is pretty crazy. You are so open to the elements. It's the most open vehicle I think I've ever driven. Now we're just in sport mode right now, and it's still incredibly quick. Oh, and a little bit drifty to drive. Now we're in Sport Plus mode, and this thing really does fly. It's got, you know, the standard gearing and ESC mode that a normal ETK would have, but PUR just takes this to another level. Of course, I can't see behind, so we have a digital rear view camera. I really like that. Handling is pretty good, but let's take it onto the highway to see what kind of speed this base model can achieve. Look at the styling back here. We've got these kind of cowlings behind where the driver is. There, I guess, for aerodynamics, but look, 180 from the base model. This is definitely a 200 mile per hour car if I don't crash. Speaking of which, how about a crash test just at 120 miles per hour into the excavator? Oh yes. Crumpled up, and the rear half of the car is completely fine. But yeah, that would not be survivable, would it? So 20 configs are included in this mod. There's 10 configs added for the K-Series, and another 10 added to the 800 series. Let's try one of those. This pack adds so much to the ETK cars. First of all, you can see the PUR badge there, clearly inspired by Rough, and then look at these wheels. There are 3 new sets of wheels added. We've got new headlights, which have these really nice looking daytime running lights. An overhauled interior with new gauges that go up to 330 kilometers per hour. We've got ambient lighting, plus you can color the interior to any color you want. Let's have it in a nice red, and some slightly different body kits. Look at these exhausts. Oh my goodness. Tuning is available for both the wagon and the sedan. Now this is the 800Z. That means it has 800 horsepower. The last one was the 600Z. And wow, look at the interior. Really nice cherry red leather, and then pink lighting? Oh yeah. Now how much of a difference does the extra 200 horsepower make? Let's find out. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Well, it's strung to put the power down, but then it's off. Whoa, that's crazy. All of these vehicles do handle pretty well. I guess these are sort of more like Audi Quattros. They are all-wheel drive after all. We do have a drift mode. I've turned it on, so let's try. I'm not sure. Whoa, it has quite a lot of... Oh, yes, it does drift. Whoops. So I'm guessing this just turns off the front-wheel drive, and now we've got a rear-wheel drive drift wagon. Oh, or at least it changes the front-to-rear differential. So, yes, it does drift, but the ESC kind of cuts in too much to stop you from spinning out, and you just need to be a bit more lenient so you can get a proper drift going. But when you catch it, oh, that was weird. It was a drift, but it didn't look like a drift. Also, you can toggle the exhaust valve. So this is what it's like when it's closed. Very muffled, and then let's open it. Oh yeah, meaty. We're at the racetrack now, and let me show you some more of the Speedster. Now this is the Speedster track config, and look at the body kit on here. We've got loads of wings and diffusers. The wheels look amazing. And in the interior, you can see this very funky race wheel, and then we've got a sequential shifter and a handbrake, and loads of carbon fiber just everywhere. You can get a more luxurious PUR Speedster with the Renspect. Now, of course, Renspect has been in many other ETK mods. It's BeamNG's version of our Alpina. We've got the signature Renspect wheels with these yellow brake calipers, the stripes going down the side, and a very luxurious interior. This cream leather and blue-backed dials. That's, well, all these Renspec mods seem to have those kind of dials. But let's take the track variant on the track. Now, this thing is pretty crazy. Rear-wheel drive, and wow, it is very, very agile. Quite hard to get this thing to spin out. But if I push it into the corner, we're doing nearly 70. And yep, it went round there okay. Now, Speedster body styles were very common in classic race cars, especially in the 1940s and 1950s. But eventually they did realise to give some protection from the elements and bugs, you need a front windscreen. So really, you couldn't drive this thing at any high speed without a helmet. Otherwise, there'd be bugs in your mouth and yeah, it wouldn't be nice. But doesn't it look amazing? I love this thing. Okay, let's take it for a really high speed run over this crest at 175 miles per hour, and then brakes. Wow, brakes are very good. I have to put it into automatic mode because I don't have a sequential shifter here, but almost lost control there. Okay, it's time for the corkscrew corner test. How well does this car handle it? Now, it handles very flat, this car, so I'm expecting it to be okay. Pushing it in, very good grip, little bit of oversteer there, and a bit of oversteer on the way out. Oh, that was fun. That was pretty quick as well. Unfortunately, the rear view camera does seem to bug out in some of these vehicles. But yeah, we've got a whole new interior in here. It's astonishing, the level of quality and detail in this mod. Now, the Renspect is slightly faster because it does have a more powerful engine, but it does not handle as well. This thing feels a bit more like a big old boat. It's very, very heavy. This thing is called the PUR Flower Tuner, and it's only called that, I think, because it has these flower decals on the side and on the front. Now, I'm not really sure what kind of tuning this adds, but apparently it does have a lot of power. Does it have more power, though, than the 1000Z? This is the PUR Coupe, not the Speedster. There is also coupe versions of the PUR vehicles. And look at those crazy wheels. They're almost like bowls, but I really like the look of them. So let's test both and see which is the most powerful. I believe this is meant to be the most powerful config, but is it more powerful than the tuned variant? Very nice interior, as always. We've got a beambot orange leather, and then it's even on the bottom of the steering wheel, and yellow ambient lighting. So off we go. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay, 1000 horsepower in this thing, by the way. Yep, it is quick. Look, that's 170, 180, 7th gear. Oh my, and big crash, of course. Yeah, we are completely wrecked. Wow, we even made it to the other bit of the track. What about the handling, though? Well, when you put the throttle down, it kind of wants to lose control, but it's very agile, and you can control the drifts a bit. 1000 horsepower is quite a lot for this car. Even with all-wheel drive, I am struggling here, but all in a straight line, you struggle to find a supercar to beat this. Oh, and it handles the corkscrew corner okay, but I wasn't exactly going very fast there because I daren't. But yeah, you can get this exact engine with the sedan or the wagon as well. The tuned variant does have a manual gearbox, thank goodness. Let's turn off the ESC. So, whoa. Oh, this thing feels good. Okay, way more agile, and despite being longer and maybe even heavier, this... yeah, it feels more like a track car. I mean, that's to be expected. This has really been tuned. No, we've still got 4 seats in this thing. We haven't even got a roll cage. But look at that rear wing. It's pretty big. This thing means business. Oh, okay, yeah. All these cars are turbocharged, I believe, which gives them a pretty... well, there isn't a lot of turbo lag, but there's enough to be worried about. And the brakes are good. Corkscrew corner. Oh, it's so agile. For a big, heavy sedan, this feels great. And the pack has 2 safety cars. We've got one for the K-Series and one for the 800. I really love the liveries on this thing. And we have a safety car light bar with a siren. I didn't know they had sirens. And finally, if Renspect isn't good enough for you, you can get the PURboat. This has 830 horsepower, and it's a very, very luxurious version of the ETK 800. We've got these crazy wheels again, a gold or bronze and black paint job, and inside we've got, I think this is like cream or brown leather. It's quite nice. And in the back, look at this. We've even got little mini displays, which is just displaying the PUR logo logo back here, so you can watch something as you're being chauffeured around in your PUR boat. So it's double the price of the Renspect 8R ETK 800 and has over 300 more horsepower. What's it like to drive? Well, I suppose we should put it into normal drive mode. Here we go. Drive it just quite sedately as if we were chauffeuring someone around, and it has a much more soft suspension. Now, I've just had a thought. Renspect and PUR, I guess, are like competitors, aren't they? Because they're both doing the same kind of thing. Luxurious and powerful luxury vehicles. Now, if I put my foot down, whoa. It is quick even in drive mode. Oh my goodness. Whoa, truck! Oh dear! And it crashes pretty well. Very little deformation here in the interior. Right, into sport mode. Let's thrash this thing around the inner city. And the engine sounds great. It is a custom engine built for this mod. That 4.4 litre. And yeah, the engines range from 600 to 1,000 horsepower. You can customize them yourself. They are very customizable. How does it take jumps? Now, it should have quite a soft suspension, and it does. It definitely does. Brakes, come on! Ooh, don't know how we made it through there. Turning cycle of this thing is pretty good. It likes to drift. Whoa! I've got the ESC on, and look at this! Oh my goodness! But yeah, that was the Modern PUR Pack for BeamNG, which includes the K-Series PUR Speedster. I really love the look of this thing. It's the top spec model, the 1000Z. And I've left a link to this mod in the description down below. What a beautiful car this is, and what an awesome pack. Well done to Fiesta. And if you'd like to see their last mod, which was the PUR Goldfish, basically where it all began for the PUR brand, click the video on screen right now. I think you're going to like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with some more simulator adventures.